Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel, and my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, showing up with me every week, every video. Continue to like, share, and pass on this information, as my entire goal with these videos is to use my mess as my message, to hopefully connect with someone, inspire someone, share my life tips, tricks, advice, to avoid some of those life pitfalls and mistakes. And so today is another part of those life lessons I learned in 2020 that I want to pass on and share with the next person. Let's go ahead and get started. So this life lesson really connects to my illusion of control. And if you watched my video on how to find peace during difficult times, you know what I'm referring to. If you haven't watched it, I encourage you to watch that one as well. But the lesson I learned was control what you can control and release everything else. Literally release everything else. So at some point last year, multiple times last year, I had to sit down and write, what are the things you can control? I have little sticky notes. I have little journals right next to my desk. I work from home, and I had to write those things down. Or I started with the question, can you truly control this? I think there were so many times this last year that by my illusion of control, by my feeling of wanting to control the outcome from the start to the finish, really put us in some tough spots emotionally and mentally. At the beginning of 2020, before the pandemic started and the lockdown started, I was told that I had PCOS by my OBGYN. To hear PCOS from my doctor and to not know what the hell that even meant, I immediately started researching, trying to understand. When the year before, I was having very irregular menstrual cycles, I was having very irregular hormone imbalances. It all made sense when she told me that I had PCOS, but that was a rough patch. And I didn't understand how I didn't control not getting here. My fiance and I hope to grow our family in the future, and I felt like me being labeled now as someone who had PCOS was never going to be able to have children. And that's not true. But that's what I felt, and I felt like because I didn't control my body not getting that or not having those symptoms, that was my fault. I beat myself up over that. I felt like if I didn't let myself go physically, health-wise, after I was a student athlete, I wouldn't be here. You know, when my doctor told me that I had PCOS, she tried her damnedest to remind me that it is very common with women, and there are things that I can do to reverse some of the symptoms that I have. There are things that I can adjust, but the reality is that there are also things that I can't control and I can't change. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of time for me to get through that, and I want to thank those in my inner circle who supported me through that time. Specifically, I want to thank my fiance for helping me get through that time, because the minute that light switch turned of me saying, okay, Shawnee, you have PCOS. That is something you don't have control over right now. What do you have control over? Well, to minimize or to reduce some of the symptoms I have, that's losing a little bit of weight. That's choosing to eat a little bit better. That's being mindful of the things I put in my body, in my mind, in my spirit. And it's really managing and reducing those symptoms that I have. And so that's where I changed my mind. I turned my mindset, I reframed my mindset to really focus on, I can't control that I have PCOS right now, but I can control what I put in my body. I can control trying to get more active. I can control having a goal to lose 10 to 20 pounds solely to get in a healthier weight for me to reduce the symptoms that show up with PCOS. It's taken me all year to work through that. If I'm honest, I'm not through all of it right now, but I'm getting there. And the more I focused on the things I can control, the more I reframed my mind to focus on my sphere of influence, what I could control, the more that impacted and reduced the symptoms that I was having. This lesson is one I continue to try to work on. I am not perfect at this one at all. However, I really think 2020 gave me a lot of time and a lot of examples and a lot of experience to practice this one. And this life lesson for me is mental health is wealth. Intentionally adding mental in front of health. I know we have heard health is wealth. Your mental health is wealth that should be non-negotiable. So many times we negotiate that. I reflect back on 2020 and whether it's my work, whether it's my personal life, whether it's my hobbies, whether it's the things that I was watching, my mental health was on the table for negotiation too many times last year. I'm not perfect at not forgetting about prioritizing my mental health, but I have made it an intentional goal for 2021 that my mental health is no longer negotiable. My mental health is my wealth. I'll never forget my therapist when I started asked me, what prompted you to come here? What led you? What inspired you to start this journey? And I was at work and there was a staff meeting where we were talking about different things, and I won't disclose too much, but the particular topic, we split up into breakout rooms and we started talking about how this particular situation really was impacting us. And I tried my hardest to not unmute myself. Don't forget to unmute yourself if you're talking, not to unmute myself and really just stay in the background because I knew something was brewing inside of me. Well, I also had my spirit prompting me to speak out and speak up and to use my voice. And so I did that. In the midst of doing that, I felt like I word vomited, emotionally word vomited. There was tears, there was deep pain. I went to share one thought and then I was sharing 1,000 thoughts. The emotions were running, tears were running. I couldn't even catch my breath. And I just felt like I overshared everything that was going on in my spirit, in my heart, in my mind in that moment. And that's when I paused and said, whoa, did I really just share all of that information in a workplace setting meeting? Now, I'm not saying that is a no-no. I'm not saying that being able to share or be vulnerable and authentic in the workplace is wrong, because that is not accurate. However, I know myself that I usually disclose things with only my inner circle. The fact that I was doing that in a larger platform, in an open space with people I don't talk to you every day. I may not trust. I don't know what their agenda is for the conversation we're having. That was really my aha moment of like, okay, Shame, you need to talk about these things with someone, and you need to prioritize your mental health. So to say all of that, that led me to my individual therapist. And I'm so, so, so grateful that I met them. I'm so grateful that I am now on this journey. I wish I would have committed to a journey with a therapist 10 years ago, but I'm here now. And I've made the commitment now, and this journey has been interesting. I will share that in a future video, but it has really helped me prioritize my mental health, and I have learned through hardship that that is my wealth. That is what is constant. That is what I have to deal with every single day, whether I want to or not. So why not prioritize that? So these are the life lessons I have to share today. Over the next several weeks, we're going to continue to talk about more, dive a little bit deeper into my mess. Sorry, y'all, that's what it is. I am making my mess my message. But we're going to talk more about a few every week over the next several weeks. If you found value in this video, I would really appreciate you hitting that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. The goal here is to use my mess as my message, and one day I want to embrace other people's mess to share as their message, to reach as many people as possible as we build a community and a sense of belonging and a feeling of empowerment, encouragement, and motivation to keep going. Even though we're in our mess deep, we can keep going, and it can evolve to our message. I'll see you next week.